Om Sai Ram. The Shady Diary, penned by Mr. Honorable G.S. Khaparde, second and long stay at Shady, dated 1/1/1912. I got up early in the morning, went to Chavdi for Kakadarati. I saw Sain Maharaj's face as the first thing, and it was full of sweet grace. I was very much delighted. After we returned to the Vada, I saw Vasani's brother. He came from Dhulia. I saw him at Pune and Amaravati before. He went to see Sain Maharaj and was told about people bringing ties with them from a former birth and meeting now in consequence of them. He told the story of a former birth in which he, Bapu Sahib Jog, Dada Kelkar, Madhavrao Deshpande, myself, and Dikshit were associated and lived in a blind alley. There was this Murshid there. He has now brought us together again. I saw him go out and then sat reading Ramayana. I saw him again at midday arati and was very kind to me. Dikshit gave me Nivedya today and we all had our meals with him. I sat with Vaidya, Nana Sahib Chandorkar, Mr. Deo, Mamlatdar of the Hanu, and others. I sat reading again and then went to see Sain Maharaj at the masjid. He first dismissed me along with the rest, but called me again, saying that I was anxious to run away. In the evening, we saw him opposite to the Chavdi, and at night, the bhajan of Bhishma and Dikshit's Ramayan. Balashimpi came to the bhajan, and the day was ended this way. Now, let me take you to the next day, dated 2/1/1912. I got up early in the morning. Upasani's brother, who came yesterday, went away before daybreak. After I finished my prayer, Kaka Mahajani, Atri, and others went. More went later on. C.V. Vaidya went after midday arati with 3 other gentlemen. Nana Sahib Chandorkar held a Dhanurmas and all were invited. After the meals, it was that C.V. Vaidya went. Manekar, Mamlatdar of Kopagavun, and Dev, Mamlatdar of Dahanu, also went then. Later on, after sunset, Nana Sahib Chandorkar went with all his family. So the Vada, which during these few days used to look full and very pleasant, is comparatively empty now, and we miss company. We saw Sahin Maharaj when he came out of a stroll and again at Sage Arati. My son, Baba, and Gopal Rao Dole came this morning to take me to Amaravati. I said my departure depended on the permission of Sahin Maharaj. They saw Sahin Maharaj and said there was no difficulty about the permission. Bhishma is not well today, so there was no bhajan. Ramurti wished to go away today, but Sain Baba detained him. There was Ramayan and Bhagavat reading at the night, and the day was ended this way. Let me take you to the next day, dated 3/1/1912. In the morning, I got up early, attended the Kakadarati, and finished my prayer. My son Baba and Gopal Raudoli went to Sain Maharaj and asked for permission to return to Amravati. Sain Maharaj replied that all may return. So my son and Gopal Rao returned in a great joy. They told me, so I went with Madhavrao Deshpande and Sain Maharaj confirmed the permission. But as we were returning, he overtook us near kin and said that we may start tomorrow. I saw him when he was going out and again after he returned to the masjid. Madhavrao started the subject about my departure and Sain Maharaj replied that I had my house both here and at Amravati, and I may stay where I like and I may never return to Amravati. That settled the matter. So it appeared to me, and I told my son Baba and Gopal Rao to return to Amravati. So they made ready and went to say goodbye and received the blessings of Sain Maharaj, and when Sai told them to go tomorrow. In the afternoon, he said he would give all of my family permission to return tomorrow. Megha fed some Brahmins today in completion of his Anushtan of Gayatri Purascharana. We had our meal with him. The meal was served in Sate's Vada. In the afternoon, I saw Sain Maharaj both at masjid and when he came out for his usual stroll. He was in a very pleasant mood and laughed and abused in one and the same breath. At night, there was the bhajan of Bhishma and Dikshit's Ramayan, of which 2 chapters were read. Tatya Patil's father died in the evening. And the day was winded up this way. And let me take you to the next day, dated 4/1/1912. I got up early in the morning, prayed, and wished my son Baba and Gopal Rao to go to Sai Maharaj and obtain permission to return to Amaravati. But my wife intervened, saying it was Pausha Paurnima and therefore a day sacred to our family deity, so no endeavor was made to obtain the permission required. I saw Sai and Baba go out as usual and went to the masjid after he returned. Spending the interval in reading Ramayana, we returned after the midday arati, and after meals I sat talking to Bapu Sahib Chog and then resumed Ramayana. After 5 p.m., I went to Sai Maharaj in the masjid and found him walking about in the compound. My wife also came there. After a time, he took his usual seat and we sat near him. Dikshit and his wife also came. Sain Maharaj then told a story. He said there was a princess living in a palace. A monk sought shelter with her. Her sister-in-law, who was there, also refused it to the monk. The monk, with his wife, was returning disconsolate to his village when he met Alaminia in the way and told the story. How stricken with poverty, he sought shelter and was refused. Alaminia advised him to return with his wife and seek shelter once more with the same princess. He did so and was admitted and treated like a member of the family. The monk stayed enjoying all the comforts for 6 months and then, coveting gold, murdered the princess with an axe. The people round about assembled in large numbers and held a panchayat. The monk admitted the offense when the matter went to the king in due course. Alaminia advised him to let the monk go. The king obeyed. The princess murdered by the monk came to be born of him as his daughter, and he came once more to the palace and was permitted to stay there in affluence and ease for 12 years. Then Alaminia inclined the king to be avenged the murdered princess, and the monk was killed in the same way in which he had killed the princess. The monk's widow returned to her village, accepting the monk's fate as just. The princess, who was born as daughter to the monk, came to the palace, took possession of what belonged to her in the former reincarnation, and lived happily afterwards. There was the work of God done and his justice vindicated. There was Sage Arti at night, Bhishma's Bhajan and Dikshit's Ramayan. Ramurti today embraced Sai Maharaj when the latter was going in procession to Chavdi for the Sage Arati, and the day was wrapped. Let me take you to the next day, dated 5/1/1912. In the morning, I got up early, though I did not sleep well at night. I attended the Kakad Arati. Sai Maharaj was in a pleasant mood. My son Baba and Gopal Rao went to him. On seeing them, he said, "Go." Taking this as permission to return, they hired Bala Bua's Tonga and went away. I prayed and saw Sai Maharaj go out and again after he returned. He was in very good mood. Many people came after the midday arati, and after usual meal, I lay down for a while and then sat listening to Ramayana read by Dikshit. Upasani, Bhishma and Madara were also present. Then about 5 p.m. I went to see Sai Maharaj with Bhishma and my son Balwant. He told me how he was not well and humorously described. Balabua Joshi bought parched gram. Sai Maharaj ate a few and distributed the rest. Then we stood near the Chavdi when he came out for a stroll. And then we had the usual arati in the Vada, Bhishma's Bhajan and Dikshit's Ramayan, of which 2 chapters were read. Today some people from Duhalya came and went, and the day was wrapped. Let me take you to the next day, dated 6/1/1912. I got up in the morning a little before daybreak and finished my prayer as usual and saw Sai Maharaj go out. After he passed on, I went to Balasaheb Bhate and borrowed from him his copy of Ranganath Swami's Yoga Vashishta in Marathi and returned to my lodgings, but resumed the reading of Ramayana. We all there attended the midday arati and had our meals as usual. I did not wish to lie down, but somehow sleep overcame me and I slept for 2 hours nearly. Then Dikshit read Ramayana, and later on I went to masjid and saw Sai Maharaj. He was in a pleased mood and there was a talk. In the evening, there was the usual Vada Arati, and later on, we attended the Sage Arati at the Chavdi. Sai Maharaj was in an exceptionally pleased mood, made mystic signs to Megha, and did what are known as Drishtipata in yoga. As astrologer has come from Duhalya and is a guest of Upasini and is staying in the Bada, at night there was bhajan of Bhishma and Ramayan of Dikshit. And let me take you to the next day, dated 7/1/1912. In the morning, I got up early and attended the Kakadarati. Sayan Maharaj looked exceedingly pleased and gave yogic glances. I passed the whole day in a sort of ecstasy. After morning, I, Bapu Sahib Jog and Upasani commenced Ranganath's Yoga Vashishta. Then we saw Sayan Maharaj go out in the interval, sat talking with the young Mohammedans that came to the masjid. One of them recited some verses. The midday arati was late. Sain Baba commenced a very good tale. He said he had a very good well. The water in it was sky blue and its supply was inexhaustible. 4 motas could not empty it. And the fruit grown with the water was inordinately pure and tasteful. He did not continue the story beyond this point. In the afternoon, Dikshit read 2 chapters of Ramayan. Upasani, myself, Ramurthy, and Dikshit were present. Then we went to Sain Baba and attended his stroll. As it was getting dark, he got, or rather showed, as if he got angry with the woodcutter women. At night, there was Bhishma's Bhajan and Dikshit's Ramayan, and the day was ended. Let me take you to the next day, dated 8/1/1912. I got up early in the morning and feeling it too early, went again to sleep and then overslept. My usual moment of leaving bed. So things got set forward and in that way affected the routine of the whole day. After prayer, I sat reading Yoga Vashishta of Ranganath with Bapu Sahib Jog. Upasani, Ramurthy and Madhavrav Deshpande, we saw Sahin Maharaj go out and again saw him after he returned. During the midday service after the Arati, Sain Maharaj exhibited sudden and great anger and abused violently. It appears as if plague is likely to reappear here and Sain Maharaj is enduring to prevent its reappearance. After meals, we sat talking. I read a little of Ramayan and then arrived Mr. Sani, Mamlatdar of Kopagaon, with Mr. Joshi, who is the Deputy Collector of Dwalya. Later on, we went to Sain Maharaj after reading a chapter of Ramayan. We waited there long enough to see him at and after his usual stroll and then attended the Sage Arati. At night, there was usual Bhajan and Ramayan. And the day was wrapped. Let me take you to the next day, dated 10/1/1912. I got up very early in the morning and finished my prayer and all before daybreak, and later on I went to see Sahin Maharaj both when he went out and after he returned to the masjid. A Marwadi came there and told his dream. He said he received a lot of silver and finally got bars of gold and woke up while he was in the act of counting them. Sain Sahib said that the dream indicated the death of some great man. And the day was wrapped, and let me take you to the next day, dated 12/1/1912. I got up early in the morning, said my prayers, and began the usual routine of the day when Narayan Rao's son Govind and brother Babu Sahib came. They arrived at Amravati from Ushangabad some time ago, but not finding me and my wife there, came here to see us. We were naturally very glad to see each other and sat talking. We began our Yoga Vashishta somewhat late as Bapu Sahib Jog was busy. We saw Sahin Maharaj go out and again after he returned to the masjid. He was very gracious and repeatedly gave me smoke out of his pipe. It solved many of my doubts and I felt delighted. After the midday arati, we had our meals and I had a few minutes rest. Dikshit was delayed longer than usual at the masjid. So he began Ramayan later than usual and we could not finish a chapter as it was both long and difficult. Then we saw Sahin Maharaj at the masjid. He had music. There was 2 dancing girls who sang and danced. Later on, there was Sage Arati. Sain Maharaj was very kind to Balwant, sent for him and let him spend the whole of the afternoon with him. Now let's move on to the next day, dated 13/1/1912. I got up early in the morning and attended Kakadarati. Sain Maharaj did not say a word today and did not even throw the glance which he usually does. The Tashildar of Kandwa has come here. We saw him when we were reading Rangnath's Yoga Vashishta. We saw Sain Maharaj go out and again after he returned. Yesterday, singing women were there. They sang a bit, got sweetmeats for their reward, and then went away. The midday arati passed very pleasantly. Megha is not yet quite well. Bapaji, brother of Madhavrao Deshpande, was invited to breakfast with his wife. Tashildar appears to be a cultured man. He read Yoga Vashishta. He says he has been bored to grief by designing persons for his devotional tendencies. After a little afternoon rest, Dikshit read Bhavarta Ramayana, the chapter 11th of Balkand. Is a summary of Yoga Vashishta and is very interesting. We saw Sain Maharaj again as he strolled out. His mood was changed and one would think that he was angry, which he really was not. At the night, Bhajan and Ramayana was as usual. And let me take you to the next day, dated 14/1/12. I got up early in the morning, finished my prayer, and sat to read Ranganath Yoga Vashishta with Bapu Sahib Jog and Ramamurthy. We continued it after seeing Sain Maharaj go out. I went to the masjid after he returned and found that he was arranging for a bath. So I returned and wrote 2 letters and went again. He was very kind to me and gave Tilgul brought for him by Bapu Sahib Jog. He gave it to Balwan too. The midday arati was a little late as Megha was not well, and it being Til Sankrant, by the time we returned and had our midday meal, it was 4 p.m. Then Dikshit read Ramayana, but we did not make much progress. In the afternoon, when I went, Sain Baba did not admit anybody. So I took a turn by Bapu Sahib Jok's quarters and went in time for evening namaskar. The Tashildar is still here and gradually falling into the routine of the place. One Mr. Gupte have come with his brother and family. He says he is distantly related to my friend Baba Gupte of Tana. I sat talking with him. In the evening, there was Sage Arati, Bhishma's Bhajan, and Dikshit's Ramayan. We all celebrated the Sankranti, though on a small scale. Let's wind up for today, and tomorrow we will see what all happened on 15th 1/1912. Om Shri Sainataya Namaha.